Hey everyone, welcome to my December monthly plan with me video. This month's theme was originally going to be jackalopes and Christmas lights, but it's kind of turned into a catch-all of anything Christmas or winter themed. This is my favorite time of year to create art because I just adore the magic of Christmas and how many cute things there are to draw around this time of year. From cute desserts and food to Christmas lights and winter scenes and cozy clothes, there's just no end to the inspiration and creativity of this season. I'm beginning with a simple quote page here that sums up everything I just said. In the glow of Christmas lights, everything feels magical. I decided to use my gold gel pen for the words glow and lights, and I really enjoyed using these silver and gold gel pens throughout the pages. I got really excited to write the word magical though, and that's why I've recorded the lines of the quote out of order. Sometimes it's easy to forget that I'm recording this for others to view later, and I just dive in and work on whatever part of the page looks the most fun. Anyways, here's my little jackalope character who became the star and inspiration for this whole theme. I actually drew this character a year ago, but never completed the project I was working on, so he was never unveiled to the world until now. I remember thinking he was so cute when I first drew him, so I'm really happy to have the perfect place for him to shine now. I'm once again using my light gray and dark gray Pigment 10 fine liners. I really enjoy them so much and the slightly softer look they provide for my outlines. I wanted my main character to pop off the page a bit, so I used the darker gray for his outline and the lighter gray for his ears, cheeks, and belly, as well as for the Christmas lights. It was a bit challenging figuring out how to wrap these Christmas lights around his antlers, so I just started by drawing the main line of the wire and wrapping it around him, and then I added the Christmas lights in afterwards. For the color palette, I decided to go with pink and teal as a play on the traditional red and green colors so often associated with Christmas. Teal is my favorite color, but I often struggle to incorporate it into my drawings for some reason. I'm not sure why that is, but I was really happy to be able to use it as one of the main colors throughout this theme. I colored in all of these light bulbs either pink or teal, and then afterwards realized that I had done the shadows for most of them incorrectly. I mean, it really doesn't matter too much. Obviously my art isn't super realistic looking, but I usually like to have my light source be right at the center of my notebook. So the right page usually has shadows on the right side of the object, but I drew most of these on the left side. Not a big deal, but I just feel like somebody is going to call me out on this at some point because I mix up my shadows more often than I would like to admit. I'm coloring in my jackalope with this light sand color that's one of my absolute favorite markers to color with, because for some reason it just lays down colors so smoothly. I wouldn't have expected tan to become one of my favorite colors to use, but something about these Tombow markers just makes them glide across the pages so effortlessly, and I think it's the main reason I ended up buying the entire color collection earlier this year. It sounds so silly. You would think that markers are markers and they must all be very similar to one another. But after using quite a few different brands of brush pen markers, I can really tell a difference between certain brands. Okay, that made me sound super pretentious, but you end up noticing these little things as you go down the rabbit hole of trying different art products. I know somebody out there gets what I'm saying. And if so, let me know in the comments what your most satisfying art products are to create with. The ones where you get done creating something and look at it and think, dang, that looks nice. For me, I just don't like when there are too many streaks across my characters' faces, so that's why these markers are a win for me. That's also why I really enjoy watercolors as well, although I'm such a newbie at them. But until someone creates a bullet journal designed for watercolors, it'll probably be the marker life for me. I'm adding a little shadow under my jackalope and beginning to draw the wires for these Christmas lights. After I'd figured out how to draw the lights wrapped around his antlers, then I had to figure out a way to draw all of this without it being too distracting from the main character. I figured a black or gray outline would be a bit too dark and might make everything look too busy, so I decided to use my silver gel pen for a more subtle look. It worked out really well because I was able to color in the entire drawing and then use the gel pen over it so nothing got muddied up. I bought these silver and gold gel pens earlier in the year and hadn't used them since then, so I was afraid they might have gummed up like some of my white gel pens have done in the past, but the ink just flows so beautifully from these and I had no issues at all with them. And I brought back this white gel pen as well, which had given me issues previously, and it also decided to be on its best behavior today. I guess it was just a good gel pen day. And here's an up-close look at the completed cover and quote pages. The next pages we'll be working on will be my calendar pages. I really enjoyed the layout I used for my calendar last month, and so I decided to sort of flip-flop that layout by putting the calendar in the lower portion of the page this time. I really wanted a space for a doodle, and then I thought it would be super cute to add some Christmas ornaments dropping in from the top of the page, so this layout allowed plenty of space to accomplish all of that. I'm drawing a Christmas tree cupcake at the bottom here with a happy little star topper. I drew this character 2 years ago and it was one of my favorites at the time because I could finally feel my style starting to develop as an artist. I had previously that year opened my sticker shop on Etsy and had created quite a few stickers, but this one was one I was really proud of. Ironically, I don't think anybody has ever actually bought this sticker, but I feel like so often the art that we're most proud of doesn't always resonate with everybody, and that's okay, because as long as we love it, that's all that really matters. I'm super excited to get back to creating more stickers, and that's my major goal for 2025. I tend to pick one massive goal for the year and give it my everything, so stickers and continuing my YouTube channel is the main focus of 2025. I'm also super excited that with about 1,200 more watch hours on YouTube, I'll be able to add my sticker shop's storefront to my videos and keep you all in the loop of what I'm working on. 1,200 hours is no small number by any means, but thanks to all of you watching my videos, you've made this goal something that's actually reachable for me. And at the beginning of this year, when I had never created a video before, I had no idea if what I was creating would resonate with anybody. It's been so much fun creating these videos and connecting with so many of you and working with other artists on collaborations, and it's been such a fun year just finding my place in the bullet journal community. I'm absolutely blown away by how fast this year has gone by and just how much has happened. It's been such a fun and rewarding and fulfilling experience, and I'm just so grateful to have finally found my purpose and what God has created me to do. Every time one of you reaches out to say that one of my videos inspired you or that one of my suggestions really helped you out, it just makes my heart so happy, and I just want to keep creating art and content and connecting with as many of you as I can for as long as I'm able to. Well, that got sappy quickly. But you should probably know who you're dealing with, and the end of the year gets me in a very reflective spirit. I've drawn in a calendar here using a light gray outline and pink lines on the inside, and I'm using my silver gel pen again to write in the days of the month. It's a little difficult to see on camera, but honestly, I enjoy the numbers being lighter like this. That way it doesn't look so cluttered when I write additional things on the calendar throughout the month. And at the top here, I'm just drawing in a few shapes for Christmas ornaments. I really wish I had enough space in my apartment for a big Christmas tree, but I only have a studio apartment, and it's probably a good thing I don't have the space because my kitten would have an absolute heyday climbing up it and probably knocking it over every single night. I don't think any ornaments would ever survive him, so they're better kept on the pages of my bullet journal. But honestly, he still tries to get at those too, because he really loves the sound of pencil on paper. I guess he's an ASMR cat. I'm keeping these ornaments pink and teal for the most part, and adding some more reflective silver gel pen for the stripes. The gel pen takes quite a while to color in, so I'll just speed that up for you a bit. I didn't think I was coloring very hard on the paper, but I still found that it left a few indents on the other side of the page. So just something to be mindful of if you're going to use your gel pen to cover large spaces. I'm actually doing a collaboration with Artex very soon, and I'm currently waiting for the acrylic paint markers they sent me to arrive, because I'm pretty sure there are silver and gold metallic paint markers in the set, and I think that could have come in really handy for these larger stripes. And definitely stay tuned for that video coming out in early January, because I'm also going to be giving away 2 sets of acrylic paint markers courtesy of Artex. So I'm super excited to review the markers and also be able to host a giveaway for you all. Artex is a brand that has the real pastel alcohol markers that I always talk about whenever I use alcohol markers. Because if you've been following my videos for any length of time, you know my biggest struggle is finding companies that actually carry pastel colors. So I'm really looking forward to what else the brand has to offer. Also, I was literally just talking to my mom about how I wanted to try acrylic paint markers out because we're both big fans of Posca's white paint markers, so it was just really good timing when they reached out. I think it'll be super fun to have more options for layering colors in my bullet journal. As you'll see with this ornament, I'll be coloring it almost entirely pink and then coming in after and layering the silver gel pen over it. I really like this option because it can be very challenging with water-based markers to try and color around objects and details without it getting super streaky. And it's really nice when you can come in with a more opaque color and be able to color over everything. This ornament was originally going to be a much darker pink, but then I got scared of how dark the color was and went with this medium dark pink instead. The contrast of the silver against the darker pink would have been super pretty, but I just feel like the pink would have been too dark for this page, surrounded by all of the other softer colors. Because I changed my mind about the colors last minute, the dots on this ornament sort of blended into the background color. So I came in with a white gel pen to brighten them up a little bit, and I think it turned out even cuter than it would have before. And then I'm just using that gel pen to add some highlights to the rest of the ornaments. And I'm adding a subtle drop shadow around them as well. I know this isn't very easy to see on camera, but like I said, I'm afraid of dark colors, so I still haven't decided to go for the darker gray for these drop shadows yet. Over here, I'm drawing a little gift tag that will be used for notes or random things I'd like to remember for the month. And then I'm coloring some pink candy cane stripes on this string. And then adding some pink lines on the tag to be written on. After looking at this tag, it seemed incomplete, so I decided to come back in with the tan marker and beef up the outline a little bit. And here are the completed calendar pages. The next set of pages will be my trackers and a line a day log. I'm writing the word trackers in the dark pink that I mentioned previously that I was originally going to use for that third ornament. As you can see, it's a gorgeous color, but I just felt like it was a bit too bold for the rest of the color palette. Next, I'm drawing in the outlines of some Christmas lights that will each hold an individual habit to be tracked this month. And drawing the shape of this one super awkwardly, but we'll just ignore that and move on. This month, I'll be checking off each day that I read the Bible and each day I find time to do art. I also have a tracker for marking off any time I'm working on something for YouTube, whether it's coming up with sketches, recording, editing, or any of the many other steps that go into making one of these videos. And then my final tracker is just marking off when I post content on YouTube or Instagram, just so I make sure I'm checking in with y'all frequently enough. Because to be honest, time has been flying by so fast lately that I'm frequently losing track of time and the days are somewhat blurring together. So having these trackers to mark off each night really holds me accountable. For each one, I have a mini calendar with each day of the month on it, and it makes it super easy to check off each time I complete the goal or habit for the day. I'm using 2 different teal colors and 2 different pink colors for these Christmas lights. And I finally went ahead and bought some more light pink Tombow 800 markers because it's one of my favorite colors and I've been really bummed at not having that color for the last couple of months now. I didn't have the marker yet when I recorded this, so I'm using a light pink marker from the Ohuhu set, which leans a little bit more peach than I would have liked, but it was still a decent substitute for the time being. And this is why I've really enjoyed having 3 different sets of brush pen markers, because it really gives me a wide variety of colors to choose from. And I will say I've really enjoyed this new set of Shuttle Art markers that I got a couple of months back. They're the markers that I've been using for a majority of the teal colors, and I've just been surprised at how smoothly they lay down colors and how much I really love the color selection. I had low expectations because the set is only about $20 for 56 markers, but I've been super impressed with them and they've become my go-tos after the Tombows. I'm using the fine tip side of this marker to write in the days of the week and number all of the days of the month, and then I'll be doing the same for all of the other trackers. I'm drawing in another snowflake in the corner of this page. I started by drawing essentially a stick figure of a snowflake and then drawing a larger outline around that to make the snowflake a bit bigger. And then I'm just adding a few sparkles and doodads in the empty spaces of this page. I'm quickly adding in one more snowflake and then getting started drawing this baby reindeer at the bottom of the page. I thought about continuing on with jackalopes and reindeer for the rest of the weekly drawings, but with so many cute Christmas ideas, I've decided not to limit myself and just see what I end up drawing on those pages. It'll be a surprise for both of us. And then after that video, I'll be working on my 2025 bullet journal setup. I've been thinking about it for months now, and I think I have a general idea of the direction I want to go with it, and I'm super excited to get started with it. I started bullet journaling in February of this year, and as much as I wanted to go back and make a yearly setup, I just never got around to it. So I've been thinking throughout the year of all the pages that I would find useful that I want to include in next year's setup. I actually have a lot of different pages that I want to try out. So I'm gonna try to keep the theme fairly simple and not make it too doodle heavy, but we'll see how that goes. I usually can't stop myself from drawing something on every single page. I'm using this white gel pen again to clean up the eyes on this reindeer a little bit, and then adding a sparkle and some snow around her. Then I've just dropped in the days of the month here, and I'm beginning to highlight each weekend to add a little color to these pages. The idea of this page is to take note of what happened during the day or what was memorable, and it just creates a nice little memory log for the month. And here's an up-close look at the finished pages. And now it's time for the final flip through of the December monthly pages. I'm loving this theme so much already because Christmas is such a special time of year for me, and I'm really looking forward to creating the weekly pages that go with this. Thank you so much for joining me today. Merry Christmas to all, and I will see you in the next video.